Hey, what's going on, guys? Jerry Yap here. Today we have a very awesome thing to talk about, and it's Juno, the newest Overwatch support hero. She's finally here, man. We knew her as Space Ranger all the way back at BlizzCon when they initially teased her and Venture and Mauga, right? Mauga got revealed. And now it is the weekend where we finally get to test her out, see how she feels, see the new ability she brings to Overwatch, and just, speculate and try to come up with stuff that she's going to be able to do. Well, I don't even know what that last part I said was, but yeah, we're just going to talk about her abilities, how she feels, what combos are going to go great, stuff like that. So yeah, let's just get into it, man. I love this character, man. Absolutely love and adore this character. So when they first initially kind of talked about what this character would have, I'm pretty sure they said she was going to have some sort of vertical mobility. And when I heard that, I was thinking, something along the lines of like maybe Diva Flight or like Baptiste boots or something like that. I was not expecting like horizontal movement like she has. And I'm not going to lie, it still feels weird, man. Like it's definitely a bit of a getting used to kind of thing with this movement. It just feels so odd. So let's start with her passive, I guess, right? Martian over boots. She basically just gets a double jump like Genji or something. It's basically the same exact thing, except it combos with your glide boost, one of your abilities. So we'll talk about that next. The glide boost, glide horizontally with increased movement speed. That's, basically what it is. If I had to compare it to anything in the game, I would say it's kind of like Diva Boost. Like if you were to Diva Boost in a straight line, I guess that's what it would be like most, except you're able to, look around and shoot as you normally would. You kind of just glide. If you've ever played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, it's kind of like the hover boots. I know it's a crazy and wild comparison to make, but it's exactly what it's like. It just feels like the hover boots from that. So yeah, also I forgot to mention, and they also don't mention this in the passive description, but she also has a downward glide kind of similar to Echo and Mercy, pretty much exactly like Mercy's actually. So, it pairs really well with getting the vertical mobility or whatever, and then slowly gliding down to wherever you want to land. So it's just nice for that. Like I said, this movement is really wild. No, it's not wild. It just takes a minute to get used to, just because it feels so awkward, because I'm used to like Echo movement where it's like so free flowing, and this just kind of, it's just odd to be on the same plane. I will say, if you use the glide boost without using double jump first, if you're glide boosting, you can use the double jump as a way to get higher up. And also you can press Juno's body against like, angled stuff, right? Or angled terrain to kind of get her more upwards on stuff, to get her like higher up and like on specific high grounds. It's really hard for me to put into words because I'm a little bit retarded, but it's fine. Just another way to use her movement. So let's talk about her gun, right? Her gun is the Medi Blaster, and it works similar to Ana's where, if you shoot at an enemy, it'll damage them. If you shoot at an ally, it will heal them. So, I think it's a little underwhelming. This thing cannot score headshots as well, similar to Ana. So, there's a really good focus on you to just like torso shot and like body shot. I'm thinking like Hog especially. You're not going to be shooting Hog too much on this character because it's not going to do much. But yeah, like you could just aim for the bigger part of the hitbox is what I'm trying to get at. So it's good for that. One cool little feature that I just noticed while playing today is that if you're aiming at an enemy, it has a little angry face on the gun. But if you're aiming at an ally, it has like a little smiley face on the gun, which is really funny. I love that. So let's talk about her next ability, the Pulsar Torpedoes. This is a very, very, very cool ability. What it is you basically press your secondary fire to pull it out and activate it. The closer the targets are, the faster it locks on. The farther the targets are, the longer it takes to lock on. But basically, it locks on to everybody in your field of view as long as they're not behind cover. So you can basically have 11. You can have this impact one person, or you can have it impact 11 people, depending on everybody that it can see, you know. So this thing will be able to get a lot of value if you can mark everybody with it, you know. So that's very cool, and it does a pretty decent amount of damage. And the healing is interesting too, because it heals like a little bit of a burst heal, and then it continues to heal over time, similar to like Moira, if you let her heal linger. So it's pretty interesting, you know. It's gonna get a lot of value in bringing your ult charge up, as well as getting a lot of burst onto enemies that you know, that it's flying to. And it's very clear that you can see it. It's not very fast moving. The healing portion works similar to Life Weaver, in the sense where if they're behind a wall, you can kind of see the blossom, the healing blossom, go through the wall and connect to them. So if they try to, you know, evade it or whatever, not that your allies are going to try to evade it, but if they happen to evade it, it'll still go and heal them, because it works like that. Unlike Kiriko, you know, if you try to heal an enemy through like past a wall as Kiriko, it's just going to run into the wall and not do anything. But the enemy version works different, right? The damage portion of it works different. So enemies can actually evade it. It won't follow them through walls. So there's that to be said. If you know this is coming towards you, you can find cover and it won't affect you. It's not a bunch of burst damage anyway, so it doesn't do all that much damage. But, you know, it's just something to worry about. And then her ult. Let's talk about the ult. Orbital Ray. Call down a ray that travels forward, healing allies, increasing their damage. When I first saw this ult, I thought it was going to work like Moira ult, where it damages enemies as well, but it does not work like that. It basically, it's kind of like Kitsune, right? It's instead of Kitsune, you know how you cast Kitsune ult, Kiriko ult, it kind of just goes out on a path and stays like that. This one is similar to that, where it's kind of the same path it takes, except it keeps moving forward, kind of like the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War, if you can make sense of that. So instead of being just one like area of use like Kiriko ult, it kind of just travels forward slowly. So you have to kind of move along with it to get the benefit of it. It has this like a small 1 second lingering effect if you step out of it. But, you know, this thing is just going to combo really well with stuff that can utilize where it's going to, you know, if that makes sense. God, my way of explaining shit is so bad, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I could just imagine. I'll talk about the combo zone a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's decent, actually. I think it's a little underwhelming, to be honest. The damage boost isn't really good, considering Baptiste's window is like double damage and Anna's nano boost is like 50% extra damage. This just feels like a small mercy boost or Discord orb. I think they should up the DPS like bonus from it. It should be like 50% at least, or maybe like 75 or double damage. Maybe not double damage because it's a little too good. I think that would be a little too strong, but maybe like 75 to 50% extra damage. I just feel like the damage boost on it right now is just not really all that great, you know? I feel like the healing portion of it is very good. I do like the healing portion of it, but the damage could use a little more, I think. If they want to go that route, I think they should too, because it just feels like a worse version of Mercy Boost. Not a worse, like a slightly better version of Mercy Boost, if that makes sense. So, of course, I always got to forget one ability, so we got to talk about the last one, and it's the Hyper Ring. Deploy a ring that increases movement speed of allies that pass through it. Basically just another speed boost in the game. It's the third speed boost to enter the game. First was Lucio speed boost. Second was Junker Queen Shout with Overwatch 2. And now we have the third movement speed ability boost, which is the Hyper Ring. This thing, it's pretty cool. You just press whatever you have it bound to, and it shoots out in front of you a little bit, and then it creates a giant ring that you can pass through. It's interesting though, because when Juno herself casts this, she automatically gets the speed boost as of right now. Like I said, it's a trial. They could change things. They might take it away, but as of right now, Juno herself gets the ability automatically as soon as she casts it, as well as the allies. If I'm not mistaken, they do as well if they're near her. However, if they're not near her when she casts it, then they have to go and walk through it to get the speed boost. And this thing, I will say, it's very, very useful, man. It's just so... I've been playing a lot with my brother, and he plays Ramatra, and this thing with Ramatra is just nasty, man, because you can just send it out right in front of him while he goes Nemesis, and he's just able to close the gap so quickly with Annihilation and Nemesis form, right? So it's just so good, and it's just the best part about it is it's clear to everybody exactly what it is. That's why people have a hard time utilizing Lucio Speed Boost, is because it's not exactly clear. I mean, it's clear when you're getting it, right? But not to everybody, and it's hard to like make plays off of, especially solo queue if like you're not calming or anything. Whereas the speed boost, everybody knows what it is. Everybody sees it go up. They can use it if they want to. I felt like there's not going to be a lot of situations where you could use this thing, but if you like put it sideways a lot of the time, you could just like touch the edge of it and get a lot of value just from that extra speed, man. So it's very, very useful. And it's on a pretty short cooldown, if I'm not mistaken. It's on a 10-second cooldown, I'm pretty sure. It might be 12 seconds. If it is 10 seconds, then that's already better than Lucio Speed Boost, because, the cooldown of Amp anyway. I know Lucio passively gets the Speed Boost at all times if he has the song on. But yeah, it's a solid ability, man. Very, very, very good ability. So that is all of Juno's abilities broken down. Let's talk about what they combo with and what they synergize with, right? So let's get into the tanks first. I already talked a little bit about Ramatra, and obviously that whole role of tanks is going to get better or really synergize with Juno. I'm talking about the brawl kind of playstyle of tanks, specifically like Ramatra, Reinhardt, Junker Queen, Mauga, even that kind of thing. Orisa, pretty good. I mean, like every single hero, like tank is going to get the benefit, obviously, right? Like Diva is going to very benefit from it. Doomfist, highly mobile. Winston, highly mobile. Sigma and Hog just kind of like, exist. So maybe, you could speed Hog with his whole Hog up. That's pretty useful. Sigma, you could speed Sigma out of bad situations, I guess. It's just a good ability to have. Speed boost is just very valuable in a game where you want to close the distance on disengaging enemies and stuff like that. So it's really just going to synergize with all the tanks well. I really don't think she'll be bad with like a single tank hero, especially because her healing is actually like pretty decent. She can keep up with healing with pretty much every character on the roster. So it's not really all too bad. Her ult will synergize super well with like Mauga ult, right? Like I'm just imagining the cage fight with this thing going through it, obviously just boosting Mauga's damage himself. Ramatra Annihilation, it might make the tick rate faster. I'm not actually sure if it does, but if it does, it's really good. Putting this thing on top of the Orisa ult for extra damage. Just so good, Reinhardt, when he's walking up, pop this ult on his Earth Shatter. Just super solid, so I feel like I don't have to get too in depth with the tanks, so we'll just leave it at that, and we'll move on to the damage heroes, right? Who's going to synergize with Juno, right? Obviously, characters like Mei can benefit from the speed boost. Characters like Genji, Tracer, Sombra, all the divey characters, right? The ult will synergize well with Soldier ult, Cassidy ult, Venture ult, like this. I don't even know why I'm going through all the characters specifically, because there's not going to be a single hero in the game that really doesn't benefit from this the ult, right? Everybody's going to get increased healing from it or damage. It's just good. It's like old Orisa Bongo from Overwatch 1, if you remember that. Cease your resistance. God, I kind of miss it. I can't lie. I did love that ult. Yeah, I mean, every character is going to benefit from damage boost, man, besides like maybe Mercy or Lifeweaver if they have to keep up on healing. But yeah, as far as supports go, it's not going to be one of those supports like Lucio or Zen where there's like a low healing output and your teammates are going to cry if they're low elo, right? Because sometimes, the low support comps, specifically like Mercy, Lucio, just get a lot of hate sometimes just because, if you're not running the right stuff with it, it can be low healing output, and that while you can work with it, a lot of people just don't like playing with it. But the point I'm trying to make is that Juno, she doesn't really have to worry about that, because she puts out a lot of healing if she wants to. So it's good. She'll be able to really pair with any of the supports in the game, really. I'm thinking Zen Juno as a Zenyatta maid. This character will probably be nuts with the Discord and stuff, comboed with the alt as well. Moira alt on top of the orbital ray could be pretty good. Just thinking off the top of my head here. Obviously, Kitsune Rush with this alt, extra damage on top of the Kitsune would be absolutely nutty, but you don't really want to blow both of the support alts like that. Juno Alari could be pretty good. There's just so much limitless potential that we have to explore, man. And I've only had a little bit to try it out because the queue times are, a little crazy. I can't lie, queue times are kind of wild here, but yeah, we're making it work, man. So I feel like this character can really synergize with just about anything in the game, man, and it's really, really exciting. It's just I'm really just happy to have another support here in the game as a support main. Something additional to flex too, because it's kind of crazy that there's only one tank now in the 5v5 format, and there's still more tank heroes in the game. It just doesn't really make much sense, but it is what it is. I know they're trying to play support hero catch up, like they said way earlier. I don't know if that's still the policy or what they're going by, but I think it needs the game needs more supports, man. It needs more supports. Okay, so we did the ability breakdown. We did the possible synergies. Let's just talk about what else maybe needs to change about the character, or talk about maybe the balance of the character before release. So today is the last day of the Juno trial. It is July 21st. So, these trials normally, they just want to throw the character out to the public, get a bigger data pool of numbers in their system so they can tweak abilities and stuff. We all know how it goes at this point. So anything can happen. Anything can change. Something can get buffed. Something can get removed, like Life Weaver passive. So who knows what's going to happen? Let's just speculate a little bit. All right, let's talk about the gun. I personally kind of enjoy the fact that it can't headshot. The only other character that has this is Anna, right? If you count the melee characters like Brig and Ryan, sure, and Winston, but yeah, this character can't headshot. So, you don't have to really go crazy aiming for the headshots because it's not going to do anything. So you can kind of just pump the biggest part of the enemy's torso or wherever they're big, maybe it's Roadhog's stomach, and play like that. I don't think it needs to change. I think maybe the gun could get like a small damage numbers buff. Although, I haven't really played with it too much. So maybe it's good right now and we're just not utilizing it. But I think the gun, it feels a little weak, just a little weak. Maybe it can get a numbers tweak. As far as the abilities go, I don't think they need to touch the ring at all. I think the hyper ring is very fine how it is. We need to see how this thing plays out a little more before. But it seems like it's pretty decent, It does seem like it's pretty decent. Her exo boots or her double jump is fine. I think her movement is fine. I just personally need a little more time to play with it to perfect the craft there. So I think the movement is okay. Her pulsar torpedoes. Let me think. Do I think these are okay? Yeah, I feel like they're okay. The healing portion of them is pretty good. The damage isn't too overwhelming. I honestly don't know what they need to do with this character besides the alt. I think the alt healing needs to stay the same. I think it's fine. I think the alt does need a damage percentage buff, like I said. It doesn't feel that great to shoot through, man. It really doesn't. It just doesn't, like, as not only as Juno, but as other characters in the game. It just doesn't feel that great, It just doesn't feel that great. Especially, I forgot to mention, so I'll mention it really quick. The gun is a 12 burst round gun, so you have to make sure you're hitting all the shots to get the maximum value of the heal or the damage, right? So when you're trying to like farm DPS and damage boost your all and just try to get picks, it just on farther away enemies, it's hard to land every single shot in the burst, So that's all I'll say, guys. That's all I really care to say. I haven't, I've got about maybe 25 games total on this character so far, and I think she's pretty fun, man. She's gonna slot into the roster pretty well. Not too overpowered. I think it's a little underpowered, to be honest. But yeah, solid character, man. She's cute. She's fun. I love the personality. I love the way they designed her. She looks really cool. And it's gonna fit right at home in the roster of support heroes in Overwatch 2, guys. So there you have it. That's all I really want to say about our new hero, Juno here. I could say a lot more, but, I just kind of want to wait for her full release to grind it out and see how she truly feels, in a competitive setting and through different matchups and whatnot. It'll be really fun to kind of learn that. So thanks for listening. I know it was supposed to be another mainline episode today, guys. I know, I'm sorry. I've been busy IRL doing shit, so please forgive me. Next week should be the Fallout 4 video. I got it about probably half done now. I might touch it here throughout the week, but I'm probably just going to finish it up by the weekend. Okay? What am I playing right now? Obviously playing a fuck ton of Overwatch, man. Playing so much Overwatch. I actually love this game. Gets way too much hate. I know, I get it. The PvE, all fucking controversy. I get it, I kind of wish they would add more stuff into the game too, besides heroes every now and then and maps every now and then. But, we're coming up on the second year of this game, or third year maybe now. Second year, third year, one of those. So, there's still a lot more they can add to it, I'm praying for the better game here. So they're going to do it. They're going to cook. They're going to release some shit. Maybe hero bans will come soon. I would love that, but, I'm just speculating here, so... Yeah, playing a lot of Overwatch, I would say playing a lot of X Defiant, but I'm really not, man. I finished the X Defiant Battle Pass for Season 1, and now I don't like the ranked in that game, so I'm kind of just chilling. And I got my MP5 to the highest rank for the newest weapon, skin, or whatever it is, Titanium Prisma. So we have that. I'm not going to be touching X Defiant anytime soon. I'm playing a single player game for the podcast right now. I'm playing, I know I mentioned earlier, I played a little bit of Skyrim. I think I'm close to finishing Skyrim, so that'll be an episode soonish. If my timeline all fits and whatnot. I'm playing a different single player game. I'll tease what it's for. It's for the Nintendo 3DS there. So you can speculate on that if you want. And that's it, man. Just playing a lot of Overwatch right now. Playing some Skyrim. Playing this other third game on the 3DS. And that's it, man. That's all we're going to say. So thanks for listening. If you're hearing this, let me know what you think of Juno in the comments below, guys. Let me know, is she overpowered? Is she underpowered? She's not pay to win because all of the characters are free. So that's a plus, right? You don't have to buy the battle pass to get her in Season 12, right? So that's good. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of Juno. Let me know if I fucked something up or if I made a retarded statement or something that is wrong. Let me know, guys. So anyways, thanks for listening. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice week. Take care. Goodbye.